G'day, I'm Kevin, a retired Australian living my life here in Chiang Mai. But burning season is approaching in the north, so I'm going to jump on a train and head south to escape the smoke. This is my journey. This is 52 weeks. I have made my way to Malaka, which, although being south of Kuala Lumpur, isn't actually on the train line. So I decided that I would make my life a little bit easy, and I hired a car to get here, which I must say was really nice. It was actually quite a nice trip. Travelling here 2.5 hours. There was lots of traffic. It was the end of a long weekend, so everybody was going home after going on holiday or visiting relatives or whatever they were doing. So there was a lot of traffic on the road, and a couple of spots we were travelling very slowly. But I must say the line going back to Kuala Lumpur was much more packed than the line leaving it, so it wasn't too bad. Malacca's a lot bigger than I expected. I was expecting a kind of a small coastal town, but of course it was a major trade centre for a fair while. So it is quite big, and we came into Malaka through the outer industrial suburbs and to where we are now in Malacca Old Town. There is, of course, a modern city centre with shopping malls and the like. But most people don't come to Malacca for that. They come here for the historical centre and the UNESCO World Heritage area, which is where I am staying, probably about 200 metres away from it, from where I'm standing now. And yeah, it's quite pleasant here. So I'm here for the next couple of days, pottering about to have a look at the old area of the city and whatever else happens. First up, I'm just going to go for a bit of a wander along the Malaka River, which at the moment is not a whole heap happening. It's mainly very lively at night time. Just over the other side there is a section for bars, and I did stop off there and have a drink last night, which was quite pleasant. But of course this was a very important trading area, and all of these shop houses would have been very important back in the day. Back in its trading heyday, the city was pretty heavily fortified because it was a very valuable trading property, and there were a number of attempts, some successful, in having that property change hands. So there's fortifications dotted around that you can look at, and they're all really well signposted, telling you what the story is and of the various kind of upgrades that happened under various colonial powers. You know how sometimes I just keep walking? I've just been enjoying a really pleasant walk along the river, and I find myself just underneath that bridge over there looking at the sea. Never thought I would get here today. In fact, I hadn't even thought about the sea until I caught a glimpse of it. And then I looked at the map and decided that a 10-minute walk might get me to it, so I decided to try. And here we are. I think this might be as close as I get to it. There are lots of fenced off areas which are probably closer, but they are fenced off, so I can't get to them. I have made it back into town. Came back along the river, but of course the river isn't the only thing to see in Malacca. I'm about to, if I can get through this traffic, go for a wander along the Jonker Street walk. But first, I'm thinking that I might try and get some lunch. I decided on the Stolen Cup, which had an intriguing name. Yeah, had a nice salmon and cream cheese bagel and a mint chocolate for lunch, which was very good. It's also right down the river end of Jonker's Street, so it was very convenient. Now I'm just going to have a wander in Jonker Walk, which is along the street, and have a bit of a browse. This is the Chinatown area of Malacca. And is very busy with very good-natured people. But yeah, there's a lot of people around. There are lots of tourists and visitors in Malacca. That's okay, it's not so crowded that it's unbearable. You just have to be a bit patient, that's all. There are lots of interesting back streets to have a wander around. And it's not uncommon to find a mosque and a Buddhist temple in the, just meters away from each other. According to the sign, this Buddhist temple is the oldest Buddhist temple that's still functioning in Malaysia. I am out in search of some dinner. I had my eye on this place on Google Maps called the Baboon House. That's what it looks like at street level. If you look up, there's a sign there. But a little bit tricky to find. But let's see. Well, that was really nice, and I'm glad I took the trouble to find that place. It's the whole theme. You got to find it, and then you get to the front door, you ring the bell, and they usher you in and sit you down. Yeah, it was really nice, good experience, great atmosphere. I had a nice Greek style burger and yes, that's better, and a craft beer and cheesecake afterwards. It was a really nice experience, so that's great. So now I'm gonna go and have a wander, see what's going on. So we are back at the Jonker street walk, which on Friday, Saturday and Sunday has a street market. So I thought, seeing as I was in this general area, I'd have a wander through. My experience of this street is it would have to be the busiest street in town. During the day and at night, plenty of people here. Although I suspect that at night when the street market's not on, it's pretty quiet. But tonight it is very busy. And as the bars and restaurants open up in the evening, the river precinct really comes to life as well. Good morning. I'm just making my way through Dutch Square, or Red Square. It has two names. It is called Dutch Square because all the buildings were built when the Dutch had possession of the city. And it's called Red Square, well, because it's red. So, I've had a wander along the river, which is just on the other side of those buildings, the river walkway of those buildings, the river walkway we went along, and I've had a wander around some of the city streets and along Jonker Street, which is also over that way. Kind of go along here and turn right and cross the river. That's where Jonker Street is. So today I'm just gonna head in the other direction for a while and see what we can see. I am heading up the hill to an old fort and to a reconstruction of a traditional palace. But I decided to stop, have a cool drink and some lunch first. That was a very pleasant lunch, just what I needed. So I'm on my way up the hill, which is dotted with museums. Some of them are free, some of them are not free but very reasonably priced, so just a matter of picking what just a matter of picking what you want to have a look at. it was a good thing to do, go in another direction, as it quite often is. Yeah, there wasn't much left of the fort, which was originally built when the Portuguese first invaded, and had subsequent alterations done to it. But at one stage the British decided that it might be dangerous to them if they handed it over to the Dutch. So they destroyed most of it, and all that was left was the gate and the church that was inside the fort, with lots of tombstones from the very early days of European influence in Malacca. And the reconstruction of the palace was quite interesting, and well worth having a look at. Well, it seems to me that every time I walk down a street in Malacca, I find something new. A new monument, or a new place to eat, or something interesting. And there's plenty of streets for me to walk down, so if that keeps up, I'll probably have to make another trip, I think. Yeah, I've had a wonderful day pottering around in a few museums and having a look at some stuff. But it's getting to late afternoon and it's getting a bit overcast, so I'm thinking I might head back to the hotel just for a little while before I pop out and grab something to eat for dinner, and maybe have a final night beer by the river. We did get a little bit of rain this afternoon, so I'm glad that I went back to the hotel. It's Saturday night in Malacca, and they've closed off the road here, so I'm having dinner on the road. I've ordered a Nonya Laska. Sorry, Nonya Laksa. Get my tongue around it eventually, and it should arrive soon. It has arrived and it looks pretty good, so I'm going to hook into it. It is pretty good. Okay, that was a very nice dinner. But now I'm going to make my way over to the other side of the river and find somewhere to have a nice quiet drink. Okay, I've just settled in for a couple of beers for my last night in Malaka. Tomorrow I have a car coming to pick me up to take me back to Kuala Lumpur, where I'll spend a few days and then join the train south again. But from Malaka, that's it for me, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for joining me on my journey. I really appreciate your company. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video and you're not subscribed, you might like to consider doing so by clicking here. Or if you just want to see something else I've made, click here and that will take you to another video. And if you're really feeling like a binge, click here and that will take you to one of my playlists. Hope to see you on the road again soon.